So, in today's video, we're going to do a little bit of investigating on those really large eBay Mac resellers. So, if you've ever gone online to shop for a MacBook, you have noticed these sellers. There are dozens of them by many different names. There's Amerimac, Tech Replay, legitimac-store, Adam's Apples, Pay for Less Apple, and more. Now, all of these sellers have a few things in common. First of all, they all have bright, colorful, high-quality thumbnails. They all claim to sell refurbished MacBooks. They all claim to have certified Apple technicians working at their companies, and they all offer some sort of a warranty, usually 1 to 3 years. Oh, and they're all cheats, liars, and con artists. So, let's start out with their prices, which are, in a word, absurd. If you search for pre-Retina MacBook Pro on eBay, you'll get dozens of these listings, most of which are just awful. So take a look at this listing right here. 15-inch MacBook Pro, 8GB of RAM, 1TB SSD hybrid. There's nothing too special about that, that's pretty standard. But you'll notice we have a couple of key words in this listing. OS X 2015 and pre-Retina. Now, these are useful search terms that you can use to boost your listings, but the way that these guys use them is almost always deceptive. They like to use these so that they get listed. If you were to look up 2015 MacBook Pro, you'll get a listing for this. And a 2015 MacBook Pro, a Retina MacBook Pro, will sell for more than $589. However, this will show up and make you think that it's a good deal. So the weird thing about these listings is you'll be scrolling through the pictures, and everything looks all well and good. You'll notice you've got your RAM, you've got your hard drive, they'll show a CD, they'll show the exterior of the laptop, and you'll think, oh, there you go. But you'll notice one thing is missing from this. There's nothing about the specs of the computer in this listing. If we look at the description, we just see a lot of buzzwords: lightning fast, verified by an Apple technician, free 1-year warranty, 8GB of RAM, a new 1TB SSD hybrid for maximum storage and maximum speed. That's just not true. It's still a hard drive. There are larger hard drives and faster SSDs. Okay, whatever. This is the last model MacBook Pro to feature a fully functional DVD drive. So what did they make? Did they make them that had non-functional CD drives? What the hell does that mean? Whoa, bonus installs. Whoa! Of iLife and iWork. That's amazing. Wow. So, the first thing that you'll notice that's interesting, free charger aftermarket. Really? I'm paying $600 and you can't even include a real charger? And also, it comes El Capitan. That's multiple years outdated. So, I'm wondering now, why is it only coming with El Cap? Why aren't you putting High Sierra on this thing? So if we want to go find out more about this computer, what we have to do is scroll up, and if we look in this information tab, we've got SSHD, El Capitan, Silver MacBook Pro, blah 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 blah, 2.4 gigahertz processor. That's interesting. Oh, look at this! Intel Core 2 Duo, release year 2008 to 2010. Well, now hang on. How much was this again? Oh, $589 with $25 shipping. Oh, okay. And how old is this laptop? Oh, 9. Are you insane? And then it gets even better, because if we look at this. 608 sold. How? 608 people spent over $600 for a Core 2 Duo MacBook Pro. All of these listings make it seem like the only thing that you need for a powerful laptop is more RAM and a hybrid SSD hard drive. That's ridiculous. But their lies and their deception go beyond just overcharging for older MacBook Pros. Take a look at this listing that I found on Adam's Apples. So what we have right here is a mint MacBook Pro Core i7 2014 to 15, 16GB of RAM. So, already, we have no information about the specs, and that's very important because the 2014-2015 models Some of them don't have dedicated graphics, and that would be an important factor, don't you think, when buying a laptop? Now, this laptop has one of the most heinous tricks to boost sales that you'll find on eBay. And trust me, you will find it. This is absolutely everywhere, and it is absolutely criminal. So if we look down in the seller notes, it says 512 gigabytes plus storage. What does that mean? Does it have a 512 SSD and like a SanDisk SD card? What does that mean? Well, honestly, having it be a 512 SSD with an included SD card would be preferable to what they have actually arranged for us here, because if we scroll down, we'll notice this Mac offers a huge 512 gigabyte plus storage, 256 gigabyte SSD plus 500 gigabyte external hard drive. No! No! That is so misleading! You can't just say that. That is the most deceptive thing you could say. So, basically, this is the base model. This is the, non-dedicated graphics 256 gigabyte SSD. And then they're like, oh, look at that. We upgraded the storage. We threw in an external hard drive. No! No! You can buy one of those on Amazon for like $35. That's not a bonus feature. That doesn't give you the right to charge $1,375 for this 4-year-old laptop that doesn't even have dedicated graphics. When you have 512 in the title, in the seller notes, then people assume that, the storage is inside of the laptop where it would normally be, and not, as like some dinky, cheap, plastic external hard drive. Okay. Let me just put this in perspective. If I were to sell you a Retina MacBook Pro and say, oh, I upgraded this MacBook Pro to feature a CD drive, and then you were like, that's great, I want a CD drive in a Retina MacBook Pro, and then you were to open the box and find out that I put a $9 USB CD drive that I got off of Amazon, you'd feel a little bit cheated, wouldn't you? That's what these people are doing. They try to get you to pay for this ultra high-end MacBook Pro when it's really just the base model. Here's another ridiculous listing. So these guys were nice enough to put the clock speed of the processor in this, but they still don't have any information that's immediately available about how old this laptop is. If we scroll down, you'll find all of this information about how it was configured for high-end use, and it features a huge solid-state hybrid drive. Wow. And then it talks about how they have Apple certified technicians and a 1-year warranty on this Mac. But what they don't tell you is that this is very clearly a 2011 MacBook Pro. They have the release year of 2011 to 2012, so it's a late 2011, that 2.4, so it's the upgraded model. They also lie because they say that it's got a 3rd gen Core i7. That's a lie. That's not true if it's a 2011. That's 2nd gen. Idiot. And even if it was a 2012, you're charging $1,150. Even more troublesome than the deception and the just straight up lies in these listings is just how shady these companies are. I can't find any information about any of these companies outside of eBay. This seller, legitimac-store, has their location listed as United States, USA, United States. I'm sorry, but you couldn't be more shady if you tried. And also, how can I trust a company that sells me the promise of Apple certified technicians and a 1-year warranty or even a 3-year warranty on some of these if I can't even find any information about their company or where they're located? I mean, am I crazy? How could you trust these people? So, I decided to do a little bit of digging on some of these companies, and you know, I couldn't really find much information, but I did find some interesting Facebook posts. So do you remember that first listing I showed you, the one where it was a 2009 Core 2 Duo MacBook Pro for $600? Well, that particular laptop came from a site called Payless for Apple, and I found a rather interesting Facebook post. So here it is. We have this person had an interesting experience with an eBay seller, Payless for Apple, which I mentioned. She bought a 2006, which was supposed to be customized in excellent condition, works 100% flawlessly, and has a good battery life. And you can see they've got all these things in their listing, which she copied into the post, with a fully functional CD drive, 2 GB of RAM, hard drive, formatted, tested, no problems, Core 2 Duo, and a clean install. So you can see that they've promised her a functioning laptop that works 100% flawlessly, and that has been through a full test and diagnostic and is guaranteed to be in the condition. But she says that she didn't receive that at all. The battery was not recognized, it didn't power the laptop, the standard resets didn't correct the issue, it wouldn't boot into the OS, and she discovered that the HDD was held down with packing tape, was not connected to the board, had no OS installed, and had a dead RAM slot. So obviously that's just a blatantly misleading and incorrect description, and this unfortunate person was unlucky enough to have eBay side with the seller, because these sellers are top rated plus. They have thousands and thousands of transactions. They have the credibility that eBay will side with them. Even going down into the comments, we have this person with a similar transaction with the eBay seller. She purchased a 17-inch MacBook Pro, and she got the black screen of death, a bad graphics card. She says here that she sent back the item and they supposedly replaced the motherboard, and she got it back and it worked for 3 times and it got the black screen of death again. This next person here had a bad battery and a dying hard drive, and she now has to sink more money into it to fix it. So you can see these sellers are just the most shady con artists that you'll find on eBay. A lot of people say that these sellers are more trustworthy because they're larger, they offer warranties, they're more trustworthy than buying from individual people, but I don't even think that's the case. I wouldn't trust these sellers with anything, and even if they were trustworthy, they charge way too much for their products, and there is no way you should ever buy anything from these sellers. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. It was a little bit ranty, but I hope you learned something, and I hope you never ever buy from any of these sellers, ever. As usual, make sure to join my subreddit. We've got a lot of great discussions going on over there, and I will catch you guys in the next video.